speaking, then please just unmute yourself.
Okay. All right, you guys. Well, thanks for joining us. If you're just jumping on, if you want to put in the chat where you're joining us from and who invited you. We'll keep this quick tonight. We like to keep our chats under 30 minutes, and we'll save some time at the end for any questions. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Melissa, and I'm a clinical staff pharmacist. And I became a pharmacist because I love helping people. And tonight, I hope we can help you learn how one simple change can be the catalyst to your family's optimal health. And what we're really focusing on tonight is reducing or eliminating processed foods. So processed foods are linked to increased disease states such as cancer, heart disease, and I'd like to help you prevent diseases versus treating them. And that's really a trend where a lot of healthcare and a lot of pharmacists are going. So I'm going to share my screen. Okay. Oop. Hold on, sorry. All right, there we go. You can see that? All right, so there are two startling trends in our world. And there are two things that are making us super duper unhealthy. So increased toxins, so coming off the land, going into the water, into the air, from our cars, and decreased quality of our food. So like we're talking about tonight, our food is processed, there's preservatives, there's pesticides, decreased nutrients, and then we have artificial and synthetic additives to all of our food. Now, I'm sure we kind of all realize, I feel like the pandemic sort of made us consume a lot of processed foods. One, we needed a ton of food because we were afraid to go to the grocery store, didn't know what to eat. I know some friends started gardening because the food wasn't available. And I think that's something we're struggling with now. So this is the only time I'm going to ask you to participate, but raise your hand if you've ever tried to eliminate or reduce processed foods from your diet. So, yeah. And if you have, it's not easy. It's really not easy to do. And I was thinking today, I survived in college on Elio's pizza, rice-a-roni, which, I put chicken in, that made it healthy, and soup, canned soup. So tonight we're going to talk to you about a few ways where you can help reduce your processed foods and hopefully increase your intake of whole and real foods. So there we go. The one way I really like to do this, you can see my tower in the back, is growing my own food. So growing our own food allows us, I'm the only one that's touching my food. I can eat all of this food in its purest form, and that allows me to have increased minerals, fiber, proteins, antioxidants, and I'm combining all that stuff, and it's really working on my body better. I just go over here and grab it. I may wash it, I may not, I don't know. So the cool thing with the tower garden, soilless growing, aeroponic, hydroponic. You can see the little tower on the right, the tower garden home, is mostly meant for indoor, and it has smaller pods at the top for microgreens. And then the tower garden flex, which is what I have, and that can go inside or outside. And the water goes in those little chambers in the bottom, and then it shoots up the middle and waters all the roots in the bottom, all the roots on the inside in the pot. So there's no dirt in here. And the cool thing as a pharmacist that I like is that they actually did studies on the tower, and they showed that it uses up to 90% less water, 90% less space and 98% less water, and the crops grew just as well as soil gardens. So it's never too late to incorporate healthy habits into your family's health. And I'm a big believer in small changes can add up to big changes. Another tip, shop the perimeter of your grocery store. That's where all your fresh stuff is. Shop your farmer's market, so eat fresh, eat local. So while we're focusing on a healthy diet, how often do you eat? I'm probably the worst person to do the slide because I feel like I need to eat all the time, which is just kind of telling me I need to modify my diet a little bit. So on the left-hand side of our chart, we see our blood sugar level, and your blood sugar level should be about 100 or less if you are in a normal sugar state. So that's not pre-diabetic, that's not diabetic. Those are different levels. And then on the bottom, we see time in hours. So if you are eating a food that's high glycemic, highly processed, like a donut, a cookie, your breakfast cereal, your blood sugar is going to shoot up, and then unfortunately it's going to drop back down really fast. And then what happens? You want more cookies, more cake, more donuts. And I was just reading something the other day about we actually start to crave more processed foods the more we eat them, and that they actually start to kind of change our brain makeup, wanting us to crave even more. So what we want to do is stay in that low glycemic area where it says the zone of willpower is going to keep our blood sugar stable, stop us from overeating and over snacking. So I'm going to pass it over to Kathy, who's going to tell us about a favorite snack of hers that helps keep her blood sugar stable.
There we go. Hi, everyone. My name is Kathy Sorensitz. Okay, I started making the energy bites and with Juice Plus complete. And the one of my favorite things to make, Jen asked me to make them, was to make the cookie dough and make it into a dip. Let's see. So I will share that recipe with you shortly. I have everything on the counter here for you to look at then. But I know with the Juice Plus complete, the low glycemic was good, obviously, for you. It's vegan and non-GMO, which is always a plus because there's a lot of people that don't want dairy, and the gluten-free, dairy-free. A lot of us, as we get older, can't handle dairy, so it's always positive for that. Because my daughter has been on doing some other things, and yogurt is a big thing for her, and I've been trying to get her to try this because of the dairy. Plant-based. It's all plant-based, so it's all healthy, which gives you more benefits to you from the plant-based, because we're trying to get away from all the other processed products that are out there. And it's a prebiotic, which is helpful before you do workouts or even after, but it helps with your stomach, so which is nice. And it tastes really good. You can mix it with, you can do it with a non-dairy, like almond milk, the non-dairy milk, or you can do it with just water or orange juice. I've had people try it with orange juice. I really do enjoy it just with water, and I put some strawberries in mine and blend it up, and it tastes awesome. So, and then it's great to have it as a healthy breakfast. I do it some mornings as breakfast. Sometimes I take it with me and have it as a late morning snack before lunch, because I have a late lunch at work. You can do before or after your your workouts. You can drink a shake, which is helpful for recovery. And again, you can do it as a snack, which is also nice because that's where I started making the energy bites and the dip. My son's a wrestler, and I took energy bites to an event that they held, and everybody was like, the wrestlers couldn't get enough of them. They're like, "Are you gonna bring them next time?" I'm like, "Sure." So, but the recipe that I have is for the cookie dough, and I'm going to, if I'm not sure how to, I have to figure out. Sorry, I decided to use my computer thinking it would be easier, but I'll flip the screen. And now I can. How's that? Does that come up? Nope, doesn't come up. Anyway, I apologize. Sorry for that. Okay. So what you use in the cookie and for the recipe for the cookie dough would be coconut oil. The recipe calls for chocolate morsels. They're non-dairy. I buy the Joy Life brand. You have your complete vanilla complete. splash of almond milk. As I said, almond milk goes very well with everything. And what I do is I cut up, I produce it mix it up and put it in here. And it's great with apples, which also is another benefit to keeping your healthy diet and not using processed food. And you can also make them into energy bites, which I have done here. If anybody likes the recipe, I will be happy to share that with everybody later. But let's see. I'm going to send it over to Jen.
Thank you, Kathy. You know that's my favorite cookie dough. I think I may ask Kathy to make it 3 times now. I'm Jennifer. Thank you for joining us tonight. If you are part of our Healthy Living community, you might have heard of the Shred 10 program. It is not a weight loss program. It's not to shred 10 pounds. It's adding more good and trying to reduce and eliminate these 10 different things over the course of 10 days. So number 1, more plant foods and Juice Plus capsules daily. So Juice Plus capsules are fruits, vegetables, and berries picked at the peak of ripeness, pulverized and dried into powders and placed into capsules or gummies. So I take the Juice Plus capsules every day. So I'm getting 30 different fruits, vegetables, and berries added to my diet. Number 2 is the complete shake that Kathy was talking about. So when doing the shred, I make sure to make this my breakfast. As Kathy was also mentioning, I take either chocolate or vanilla with almond milk. I add some greens and frozen fruit, blend it up, and I'm off to go. And it keeps me filled until lunchtime. We all know that drinking plenty of water is important. That's the only other thing I drink besides a mug of coffee in the morning. But I know I still don't drink enough water. So when doing the shred, it makes me focus more on drinking more water throughout the day. Taking 10 deep breaths. So just a little bit of stress relief during the day is very helpful. And of course, getting enough sleep. And if you can't exercise, just move more. Make sure you're getting up every hour. Next, reduce and eliminate. So try to reduce or eliminate your caffeine and alcohol intake. Stop eating after 6 or after your dinner, and eliminating or reducing processed foods, which is what we're here talking about tonight. I'm going to tell you a little of my Juice Plus story that goes along with my processed foods for lunch. When I first started taking Juice Plus consistently, I saw a nice increased sustained energy throughout the day, which was awesome. But then I started to notice that I was choosing different things to eat. So imagine adding all of these fruits and vegetables to your diet. You're starting to crave different things. So instead of making lunch meat sandwiches and Hot Pockets, I had Lean Pockets, which was more healthy than a Hot Pocket. Instead of using that for lunch, I took leftover chicken and threw it on a bed of lettuce, added some dressing, and I didn't even realize I was making these changes. So this is the 2nd year that I am doing salads in a jar for my week at school. And my husband joined me this year, and he's making Caesar salads for the week also. So I know what you're thinking. I don't have time for that, but meal prep will be more beneficial in the long run. So we take a couple hours, we make the chicken, we chop it up, we put it in a container. I put mine in a jar, a mason jar. So on the bottom, I have my dressing. So this is my Mexican salad. So this is actually salsa in the bottom. I put chicken in. I put it right in the dressing. I like it that way. Then you will put all of your hard vegetables, softer vegetables, and then your lettuce on the top. So I do this every Sunday, but then morning time, what am I doing? I go to the fridge, grab this out, I don't have to think about what I'm doing for lunch, throw it in my bag, and I'm off. What happens if you don't plan? Well, you're in a rush. We're all busy. We all have a ton of things to do. Now you don't have time to pack your lunch. It's in the morning. What's going to happen? You're going to grab something on the go. You're going to grab that fast food. You're going to go down to the school cafeteria and eat that pizza. That's just gross. So even though meal prep may take some time, the benefits in the long run will pay off. Try to eliminate gluten and dairy for the 10 days and eliminate artificial and refined sugars. So what are some of the benefits that you might see from the shred? Now, again, it's not a weight loss program, but you might shed a pound or two. And if you do eliminate some of these things in your diet, you might end up losing a couple more pounds. You might be craving more fruits and vegetables because you're flooding your body with fruits and vegetables. Better recovery from your workouts, improved sleep, increased energy. You might end up seeing healthier hair, nails, and skin from eating all these fruits and vegetables, improved regularity, and increased mental clarity. The next picture is going to show all the different fruits and vegetables that you would find in the Juice Plus fruit, vegetable, and berry blends. So here you see 30 different fruits, vegetables, berries, and 15 different plants found in the complete shake mix. So if you do the capsules and the complete shake mix, every day you're getting 45 different plants added to your diet. And that to me is a win-win. We're going to end our session tonight with Sue and Natalie. Sue and Natalie are going to be sharing their stories. So Sue, I would like to pass it to you.
Thank you, Jen. Hi, everybody, and thanks for joining us this evening. My name is Sue. I first got started on Juice Plus when I went to a yoga event with a friendly group, kind of yard yoga, and I met Melissa. And after the event, we were talking about Juice Plus. Melissa had some shakes samples and also had made some of those yummy protein balls. I call them protein balls or energy balls, and love those. I always still make them as a nice healthy snack now. And at the time I was in the market for, I was really looking for shakes. I wanted to do a shake replacement. I like to replace that in the morning or even add it to my coffee instead of creamer. I really was impressed with the taste of the shakes. I did take samples home. I like that it was high in protein. I think there's 14 grams of protein in the shakes. They also were non-dairy, which really was important to me at the time. And also the fiber. I mean, who can't use more fiber in their diet? So as I started to do more research with Juice Plus, I really was taken in by the products that are made, how they're made. The company has been around for 50 years. Just really impressed me, all the research that goes into the product and research they do on health studies. So really was something that spoke to me. I think I've been on it for about 7 months. I've been taking the products. I started with the shakes, but then I added on the capsules, and we do the berries as well. I really wanted to get better nutrition. I totally was not getting enough vitamins or I don't think I was eating a vegetable at all for a while. I kind of slipped on eating the vegetables. So I really was looking for good nutrition. And I really found that Juice Plus bridged that gap for me. Also at the time, I asked my husband to join, to do the products with me, kind of as a science experiment a little bit. He was really eating poorly. I mean, everything he ate was processed foods. I don't think there was anything that was not processed. And so as I said, we started on the berries and the capsules and added on the omegas. And he really has just transformed in the last couple of months. It's almost like a body snatcher. He doesn't eat any sugar sodas anymore. He cooks healthy, we hardly go out to eat. Everything's just, we've really been focused and feeling much better with our nutrition. His blood work had come back with good cholesterol markings, and blood pressure was good because he does struggle with that a little bit, and that's been really leveled out. It's really good to, to feel mentally and a little bit physically, clear, especially when you're eating healthy. So as we know, it's not always easy to stay on track, but Juice Plus really does, like I said, bridge that gap and provides a lot of the nutrients that I don't get in regular food. So that's kind of my story. And thank you everybody for listening.
What a great.
That's awesome, Sue. Thank you.
Pass it over to Natalie.
Well, thank you, Sue. Hi guys, my name is Natalie, and I know how isolated and exhausted it feels when you're barely surviving, because that was me when I became a mother of two. My son was about 2 years old and he started school, so that meant he was bringing home all those fun germs. And it was just endless days that turned into weeks and months of nonstop colds and late nights. It was really bad. I can laugh at it now, looking back, but at one point our pediatrician told us I just need a standing appointment each week. I've always tried to eat healthy. I've always tried to, give our kids like non-processed foods. I was running to the vitamin shop every month. It was called Greenlands, and be in tears about how tired I am and how sick they are, and giving them things that normal parents probably wouldn't have given their children, lemon balm, echinacea. I mean, my kids were super tiny, 2.5, and, maybe not even 1. And so this continued to happen, and people that were around me just saw me struggling, saw my kids in and out of sickness. And so one of my friends in Bible study, she told me about a simple way that I was able to add all of these more fruits and vegetables into our system. I mean, at that point, you could have tried to sell me anything and I would have tried it just out of desperation. So thankfully the gummies are delicious and my kids had no problem trying them. And we all eat like so many of them. We go through our orders a lot faster than we should, but that's a good problem to have. So, I went through the first year of being on them. I went through the winter months, which is, down here, it's not very cold, but we get a lot of sickness. And we did not go to the doctor. I realized I wasn't up with someone, sick on me, a fever, just scrambling. And I couldn't figure out what it was until my friend, she checked in on me, and it was like a light bulb went off. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is why I just got through like 2 or 3 months of like something that felt normal. So I'm just so thankful that she allowed me to stop running to the vitamin store. My story, because it was really my children's story that brought me to want to join this community. But my story is I'm no longer on my allergy medicine. My cholesterol has lowered. I've always had high cholesterol, even though I've had a healthier diet. So that was impressive. My dad's cholesterol lowered 52 points from 1 year of being on it. And my skin's getting better. My hair, I get a lot of compliments on my hair. I mean, not everybody wants to talk about it, but I'm so much more regular. Like, we all crave all of our products. We crave our gummies, and I crave the capsules and gummies because I eat both every day since I indulge on them. So we've just really enjoyed what we're learning. I'm so thankful for somebody to share this with me, because it really has just improved our quality of life. And it's just a huge mom win knowing that our kids are getting good nutrition that's actually full of getting food that's full of nutrition and vitamins and things that so many of our food systems lack. So I'm thankful for that. I want to say thank you to all of you guys tonight for joining us, and I hope that you've learned something you can take with. You're learning, interested in learning more about the Complete that you heard about, the Shred, the Tower Garden that you saw, or the Juice Plus, or making energy bites, some of that cookie dough. Just reach out to the person who invited you. So we'll stop recording and we'll open it up for any questions.